Now, the natural goldfish, which is a fish found in China, is a bronze comet. So it's just a bronzy, plain-looking fish that pretty much looks like this one. They grow to about 30 centimeters long, and they live in basically any conditions, including water, which is frozen over at the top. Now, the Chinese, over the last 1,000 years, have bred these fish, and they have been fairly instrumental in helping to understand genetic diversity and so forth. By what they've done is breed these fish, and then over time, whenever they've noticed any sort of mutation in the fish, they have put those muted ones together that look slightly different, and then actually line bred the fish into different species. And there is evidence of them starting to understand this as far as 700 years ago. So they started to understand that if you get a funny looking goldfish and you put it in a pond with another funny looking goldfish, you breed a goldfish that looks slightly different to the goldfish. And that's been going on in Japan with the koi, or the carp, and in China with the goldfish. And they've created all sorts of very interesting goldfish now that are all bred from the original goldfish. But what you need to be aware of is the further you get away from the original goldfish, the less hardy the fish are, because the more recessive genes they tend to hold and the less robust they tend to be. So especially some of the newer, very fancy goldfish species, don't expect them to be hardy. They die very easily. Whereas the original goldfish, more like this one's a comet, this one's a fairly original goldfish, they tend to be very hardy. Whereas something like a black moor is far from the original goldfish. I'm looking for the black moor. He is black, so he blends in. Come on, buddy, smile. Where are you? There he is. There is the black moor. Black moors are definitely not as hardy as a goldfish. So if anything goes wrong, it tends to be the black moor that dies, not the goldfish. And then some of the more fancy goldfish, if something goes wrong, it tends to be them that dies. So the reality is some fish are hardier than others, and how dominant their genes are is one of the reasons why. And that's the same with, for example, cats and dogs. So cats and dogs are by and large bred by people as pets, the same as goldfish are bred by people as pets. For example, this black moor, it may not survive in the wild. It wasn't evolved to survive in the wild. It was designed to survive in captivity. And same as dogs and cats. Most breeds of dogs and cats are bred by people for people. So at the end of the day, the fancier your goldfish, the less hardy that you can expect it to be.